Brad, it was back and forth for a lot of that game. How tough is it to take coming out on the losing side?
Yeah, it's disappointing. I said the disappointing in the players, disappointing for our fans. They come out to AMT Headingley and really supported us, and they were loud. They got behind the boys. It would have been nice to send them away with a victory. I feel like we tried hard enough, and our effort was good enough to win. We just lacked a little bit of detail at times, which sort of put us under pressure. But it was better than last week.
What did you make to the performance as a whole? I think a lot of people, as you sort of alluded to there, would say that there are marked improvements.
On whose performance?
The team as a whole.
Yeah, as a whole, yeah. Well, like I said, we started well. We got into the grind. We went set for set, and we just stuck at it. And even in the second half, we didn't start great, but we probably should have scored to go to 10-0. And then from there, they go down the other end of the field and get a 6 to go, and just but then we're able to stay in and just stick to it and keep fighting, and we stayed in it and got back to in front with 6 minutes to go, and then from there, you need to find a way to win.
Has it given you a bit more of an idea of this squad and the team, having now seen them in a game environment? Yeah,
it has. It's proved to me what I've seen during the week, that they care and they do want to play well and they do want to get better. I've seen that, but effort needs to be a given in the game, and physicality, and showing that you care. But we need to find ways to try and win games of football. That's got to be the priority.
What did you make to the Jai Whitbread try that put them back in the lead late on, and probably more so the amount of time
from the kick
to get to this? Yeah.
Yeah, it took a long time, but I don't know what the proper process is there, so I don't want to comment too much on that. Look, at the end of the day, it was going to be always pretty hard to overturn it, wasn't it?
Are there any sort of quirks of Super League from that, what you've seen today, that are different to the NRL and stuff that you might have to get used to personally?
Look at this. I think there's some stuff in the ruck at times. It gets a bit scrappy and untidy, but it's just the way the game's played. We'll just have to work with it.
You put Matt Frawley back in today. He's had his critics at times this season. What did you make to his performance?
I thought he was good. I thought he kicked well, controlled the game well. He had a couple of nice runs with show and go back at the inside shoulder, but he needs to do that for us every week. He should be a senior player in this team, but I thought he was good. He stepped up.
Injury-wise as well, James McDonald came off. Cam Smith was struggling as well. He came off. What sort of the early signs?
I think Cam Smith was more cramps, and he toiled and worked his backside off today, and probably got the better of him at the back end of the game. There, he was out on his feet, so I think it was cramps. And then with James, it was an ankle issue, and it just got a bit stiff. So I'm not sure how bad that is moving forward.
Brad, is there enough there for you to have enough evidence to suggest that you can make the 6, you can get to where you ultimately want to be?
Yeah, well, that's that's 9 weeks away. That's got to be the end result, what we're chasing. But what we need to do is the stuff that we did really well today, we've got to improve on that next week and make sure we maintain that. Because I thought, on the back of some of our kick chase, we've done a good job keeping them coming out of red zone. They didn't just march down the field, like that to work their way and kick their way out of trouble. They got a couple of 40-20s, so we've got to tidy up that. But if we continue to do that well and then just own some of the detail, like a couple of times we didn't have a dummy half to pick up the ball, or we just lost a little bit of concentration. We were in the fight for some set-for-set footy, and we got a couple of them. We were on the back of it, we broke them and got a couple of penalties. And tackle 1, we throw the ball in the touch. Tackle 2, we run in the touch when we were building a bit of pressure. So when we learn to stay in it in those times and get that detail right, we'll be better for it.
Just give us a bit of insight into the alterations you've tried to make with the attack in a short space of time. It felt like it was, you talked about still playing footy, but being, sensible and structured. Do you feel like you've got that balance right? Were you happy with where it was at today?
We created some opportunities we didn't quite nail, and then I thought at times when we got tied, we were going a bit one out. So that's going to take a bit of time, but we build a bit of pressure and then we let them off the hook with some early errors in the count. Yeah, so I thought the balance was okay, and we're going to get better and better at it, but we're up 12-10 with 6 minutes to go. And that, like I say, we put ourselves in a position to win. That's what we need to do.
James Pendleton was in the squad, but didn't make the 17. Was it just a case of giving him another week? Is he far off?
No, well, he's ready to go now. Yeah, I don't know a lot about him. And we had a few concerns around some of the outside backs that way we had to carry an outside back on the bench. So, they got through, fortunately, which was good. But yeah, he's up for selection next week.
James Donaldson, it was his first game since February. What did you make of him?
Done a good job. Worked hard, didn't he? He's just a good, honest footballer. Good talker in the group. The boys respect him. Yeah, he worked hard.
How do you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, it's great.
Like the atmosphere compared to the NRL, and obviously fantastic atmosphere at the start and the fans.
Yeah, no, I loved it. It was different. It was up pretty high, but the whole week I've really enjoyed the experience. The club's bent over backwards for me to, and the players and the staff, to make the transition smooth. You can see that they're wanting to buy in, and they tried to do what we set out to do and we talked about doing. And then the support, from our fans today was great. It was nice and loud, and hopefully they've seen enough in them to want to come back and watch them again. But we already spoke to the boys about it, that they want to see us try it, but they want to see us win. And we put ourselves in a position. We're close enough, but close enough's not going to be good enough.